Here we are once again. Sean Sardi, Kalkati, wake up, practice the food, and see what you're doing, how are things going. I hope everybody's good. I'm just talking today because, I have a simple thing that I know, and, it's something that I need to pass on to you. I need to find some way, hopefully, to get through to you that there exists on the earth today in a very simple way, a way for you to easily, simply, anyone can do it, just about anybody, um, to save our affairs here and get them back in order and to really put mankind on the best path and the path back to God and back to what needs to be done. I'm just an ordinary person, but I know I've been through this big experience. I've been going on now for almost 50 years, so gradually, and I've been stupid about things, but I've tried, and eventually, even a person like me has reached some understanding. But nobody seems to be listening to me, and I don't know. It's because I don't know why it is. Well, I mean, you can understand that there's, a lot of people on the internet, and for some reason, I haven't figured out a way yet to kind of, there has been no magical thing, or God hasn't, brought everybody over to my site. So, I don't really know, um, for sure that there's any point in my, talking, but being a human, type being, or being at least partly human, I kind of want to share, if I know how to make the ice cream, and everybody's, we can't get this ice cream to get solid, and what's the matter? I know how to do it. Well, then naturally I'm going to say, wait, here's what you do. So you take it like this, and put it like that, and then, you'll be, oh, thank you so much. So I want to, I want to participate, give my part out. But I can't, as I say, I can't seem to find a way to get your attention or anything, so I'm just kind of winging it. And so let me just say that I want you to kind of pay attention here, because you'll have to pay attention if you want to understand what I'm saying, okay? Now let's say that you want to connect up with something that is kind of beyond what you're connected up to now. But it's a special case because it's a thing that you want to connect to that isn't part of anything particularly, it's not exactly like you, and maybe there's some kind of similarity, but there's, it's not the same, and you don't know how to do it. So, of course, I'm trying to talk about, you're trying to connect it with the, whoever created you, whoever put you here, whatever happened to you. And people have gotten so frustrated about it, and so a lot of them, and so they decided, well, it's just no use, and there is, I mean, you can't see the guy, and there's no real, and it's very hard to contact him, and so on and so forth. And that's okay, but I was able to actually have that contact. Just when you thought that it couldn't be done, that it was maybe just all a bunch of hooey, or something, and this and that, a bunch of people talking and making up things, but it was. So, I have to say, this kind of thing where you connect up with the one who created you. And of course that's easy to say, isn't it? But the thing of it is that when you make this connection after a little while you'll be shown that this it does exist and it is actually operating in a good way in your system and in you, and you can see it, and you start to see where it's operating in other places also. Why? After a while, you kind of can understand, or you can at least kind of get information from the thing. Yeah, and that's the way it was. God created everything, and God is. But now, see, I'm not speaking from myself when I say that. I'm speaking from my inner feeling. God is everything. God loves everyone. God is, and wants you to join this gift and start working on it, because otherwise he's going to have to destroy you. So it's a pretty, kind of an open and shut deal there. That's what's coming to me, and it's been pretty clear to me for quite a long time. I know the reason. I kind of know why that is. Too, I know why that has to happen like that. So, as far as I know, there's still a chance, you still have a chance to do this. Now, let's get back to what I was talking about earlier. I'm going to try to make this short because, even a short 10 minutes or something, you get, people watch this 30 seconds, I don't know, this isn't, I'm not getting, they can't, for some reason, and there could be lots of good, reasons. They just aren't able to listen. They're not able to listen. So here's the thing. Basically, only Bob can sing the song, okay? And everybody else has tried to sing the song, but they just can't do it very well at all. But everybody has heard Bob before. Bob sang the song, and he did it so well, and it was just like you listen to him and you go like, I could never sing it like that. He has. I'm not upset by this, because I can do things. I can cook eggs. You gotta have some of my eggs, but he can sing, okay? So, you're sitting around the room there, you and a bunch of other people, and you want to hear, you need to hear, you're kind of like, something's going on, you need some entertainment, or you're not feeling too well, and somebody has brought up the idea, it would be so good if we could hear Bob sing. And so, a bunch of you in the room, that, only Bob can sing like this. But some of you are not so realistic, and you keep making things up, and you keep saying things like, well, if we all get together and we sing together, maybe we can learn, because, Bob doesn't seem to be around. Maybe we could, and you might even join in with them and try, but it's no use, and after a while, it's pretty good, though, what we did. Maybe that's good enough. But it's not really true. Only Bob can sing like this. So after a while, you get kind of, and you're not really happy because Bob didn't come and sing. So you just kind of give it up, and you just kind of relax, and you just kind of quiet down, and just all sitting there, and you're not really doing anything. You're kind of waiting in a way, kind of like giving it up. And then, lo and behold, the door opens, and there Bob is, and it turned out that all along, Bob was out there, beyond that door, and he's just kind of waiting for you to sort of stop, chattering, trying this and doing that, and one thing and another, trying to sing it the way you would sing it. And so So you just kind of gave it up. So that, you know, and because that happens to be the only way that, God is going to, at least at this point, that's the only way that God is going to be able to come on here and sing to you. And why is that? Well, I suppose there could be a lot of reasons, but you can think for yourself, well, Bob, it turns out, is a very considerate guy. And he's going like, well, I don't know, they're all in there and they're talking, and they seem to be having some kind of a time, although I think some of them aren't talking. Maybe they already know, but I mean, there's a bunch of them, and they want to kind of figure it out for themselves. I think maybe they could do it for themselves, and I don't want to, kind of frustrate them and disappoint them. I want them to kind of try and see, yeah, go ahead, sure. But, when it gets quiet enough, and then after a while, Bob realizes, well, I guess, it looks like they've kind of given up. So, now they're going to be so I'm going to come on. He comes in, and he sings his song, and sure enough, just the same as you did, just what you wanted. And, wow, wonderful. And it'll keep you going for quite a while, just hearing him sing that song. Wonderful. Well, maybe I'm not Bob, but he seems to be really good. Kind of like hearing. You ever hear Glenn Gould play the piano? It's kind of like that. It's wonderful stuff. Nobody else can do it. So let's look at what happened when you gave up, and when you stopped trying, and when you didn't, you weren't really focused on it, just kind of giving up, just kind of sitting there, and you just sort of felt yourself waiting. I'm sure every day you have moments when you feel yourself waiting. It's like, it's coming. So you have a thing in you that can wait. And it's not, maybe you don't want to throw it, but it's not a really hard, it's not really that unpleasant. No, you have a capacity. Now, the gift that God is giving you that's all it requires, that you just kind of, it requires two things, apparently. And I'm a little bit not sure about the second thing, how it exactly works, because I'm just an ordinary person, but I know that it does, I know that it does work. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So here's the thing. You wait, and it's just a little bit different. Instead of waiting to hear Bob sing, you just wait. You close your eyes so you're not paying attention to anything else, and you just wait. And you wait until you feel something inside of yourself. And I'm not talking about, you're, itching or putting my fingers around some kind of impulse or something's going on. But you just wait until you feel yourself being moved. And then, and it's important that you don't kind of, make things up. Oh yes, I was moved, and you weren't moved. You have to actually be aware and notice, that wait, and then you were moved. Maybe you would be moved to kind of, do some pretty strong things. Or maybe you would start wailing and crying. Who knows what you might do? It depends on you, on what's going on. You That's God in your movie. And, I mean, something is moving you. You can't, God is like, you can't really name God. So as soon as you say it's God, somebody else is going to say, well, no, maybe it's not God. Well, let's just say something. And you can tell over the years, over the months, or the days, or the weeks, whatever you want, you can kind of tell, is this, is this okay? Is this alright? Is it okay if Johnny plays out here? No, Johnny can come out and play. Johnny will be good. You like having him in the yard. It's fine. No, because it says, oh, I'm so sorry. No, that's okay. Johnny was fine. Johnny was good. I like having Johnny. I like to hear him sing, and it makes me feel good to have him around, and so, don't worry. It's fine that he's. Then, there's another little kid who come over and start playing in the yard. It's just like, I don't know, a jarring noise. He's always kind of doing the wrong things at the wrong time. And feel for the kid, but you really don't. It's kind of like Dennis the Menace and made the joke in there, and the old guy next door just, that Dennis the Menace is here again, So you can just kind of know. The thing is, when it moves inside of you, then you just kind of let it move, Just like you let Johnny play. You don't have Johnny over and he's running around. You say, now Johnny, I know you're here, and I want you to play, but only in a certain way. I only want you to play in a certain way. Don't play, and you start oppressing him, not letting. No, if you have any understanding of things. Sure, go outside there. There's some stuff out there. Do you want something to eat first? You try to make him happy. You want him to have a good time. You love the kid. He's a wonderful kid. Wonderful creation. And somehow he's not quite like he's a kid, and they're all kind of like they have certain things that they do. They're going to do that. But they're also, each one is different. Isn't it amazing? Each one is different. Oh yeah, he's exactly like that other kid. Oh no, that never happens. Thank God. I'm not trying to figure that out. You'd be depressed. Well, is he like anybody else? I don't know, because I don't want to see them again. One's enough. So it's a very odd thing, isn't it? Anyway, so you let this little kid inside of you want to put it that way, you let him play. Let him do whatever he wants to do. Maybe, and he plays inside of you, if you want to look at it that way. Why not? Why be all serious and religious about this? And so maybe, your hands will come up and you'll be going, you'll be doing things with your hands for 10 minutes. Well, you let it happen. Don't try to find something else to do. Don't tell Johnny, Johnny, could you do something else now? No, let him play. Let him be free. Let God be free inside of you. Now, you tend to be a little bit more, if you have your own child and they're cuddled up to you and you think it's do something kind of funny, you don't really mind. Appreciate something in a positive way. You don't mind because it's your child and you kind of know them, and you have a lot of faith and confidence that they're not going to really do something evil or bad to you. Or even if you did, it would be something you couldn't deal with. Something got too far, started pulling too hard on your nose or something. But a good kid, they might pull on your nose quite a bit, but then they stop. So you can kind of take that attitude with this movement. Now, the movement that goes on inside of you is very simple. you get moved, you follow the movement. You know, it's not something that's anyone can do. You don't have to, be literate or speak English or be schooled in how you should behave or anything. Just a simple. Maybe one could say, you could say it's almost the simplest thing. I mean, the only thing simpler would be as if it just took over you, kind of like madness, or something. That wouldn't be much fun, because then you'd have nothing to do. I mean, it doesn't matter. Man has to have something to do. Does he have to be a part of things? It's not a part of it, Fine, you're going off here, you're doing that, and I'm sitting here, I don't got nothing to do. I mean, what fun is that? That's what. But God, of course, understands it, so he understands it. So you get to have something to do. And this movement, you will discover, and you only have to do this. You only have to let Johnny come over and play in your yard for half an hour, twice a week. Is that too much for you? And besides, you like having him play, so I mean, there shouldn't be any problem. That's why it's very difficult for me to understand why you won't do it. There could be a bunch of different reasons, but I'm not going to get all complex on things. Maybe, you're just not open-minded anymore. Johnny, the kid next door, I don't think we want to have any children over here. I've got flowers in the garden. He could trample the flowers. Maybe you stop being open-minded somehow. Maybe you were when you were a child, but things happen. You just don't want to be bothered. You kind of given up, but not in the right way. Or maybe, I don't know, there could be a lot of things. Maybe you're not open-hearted. I don't mind my own children here playing, but the neighbors have their own yard, you see. And I don't see why they can't, all this kind of crap. Everybody goes, oh God, who is this, You're open-hearted, sure, come on in. Everybody says, that's nice. Everybody likes people that are open-hearted. But some of the people that are kind of, all cerebral, they think people like that are stupid. He should be more guarded. He should be more careful not to move his hands over to his parents. They could be bad people. They may influence them. There's all this kind of stuff. But most of us normal people, we like an open-hearted, open-minded person. Look at that little girl today, Jennifer Lawrence, that's how she is. She's kind of real open about everything. And, God, someone's thinking, but, I mean, she's fun. You wanna say, oh yeah, Jennifer said some more things. Let's see what she says. You run over and see, what did Jennifer say? Well, because she's open. We like openness. So, go. You might say, well, so, okay, alright, okay, so Johnny comes over to play in my yard, but then, and what's the point? Well, that's the fun thing. Actually, when Johnny comes over to play in your yard, it's kind of a plus in your life. It's kind of a positive thing, isn't it? Because it's just the way things goes when he laughs, the kind of wonderful sounds and the way he looks, he's kind of innocent about things and naive and real open. All those things, it's kind of like food for you. And so it is kind of a positive thing, but you say, well, yeah, but I'm interested in the big picture. How are we going to save mankind just because we let Johnny come over and play? Oh, that's a great thing. Basically, when Johnny comes over to play, in this case, it's not just the little boy, it's the Almighty, so you let him play in your yard. And then it turns out that this Johnny, this little Johnny, he's a little bit more together. So the first thing you know, he's going, I saw your flowers that you kind of blah, 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 and I wonder if you would mind if I kind of, because my dad showed me this thing, we can, we can kind of clear that out around there and kind of water it just a little bit differently, and that thing will go twice as fast. Oh, really? Well, sure, go ahead. We didn't ask him to do it, but he's willing to do it. Sure enough, the first thing you know, you're in the garden, it's like, oh my God, it's like, it's growing so well. Look, Johnny did, but now where is he? Well, he's in the bedroom. He's doing something up there. Oh, let him do it. Whatever he does, whatever he touches, it works out really good. This is great. I mean, this kid, we might even start to, kind of put him up quite a bit. See? Well, it's the same thing with the Almighty. You're gonna let the Almighty play in your garden, in your backyard. He's going to kind of start fixing things up because he's more intelligent and he understands, this is supposed to be over here. Now, the thing about God is that because there's truth and reality about it, so when he takes it from here and he puts it over here, you don't go, what in the world has he done? I want my flowers here. No, what happens is you go like, wow, I never thought of that. No, it is true because the sun, the way it comes down over here, and I don't actually see the flowers over here. It seemed like a good idea at the time, and the book I read told me, put them in the big blah, and you all added up, and I put them in the book. But when he puts them over there, it's so much better. I feel so much better about them being over here. So you're going to like the things that God does to you, how he kind of improves you. So if you let him play every week, then after a while, he's going to get the whole house is going to be just all so good, and he's going to say, you think we could go somewhere today? They're having a down at the beach, and there's going to be some really nice people. Would you like to go and see them? Well, gosh, I don't know. I feel pretty good. The house is looking good and everything, and you've been to, well, yeah, sure, let's go. So you go. So then, it kind of goes out into your life. Wow, great time. You never even knew those people existed. You've forgotten all about this and that, and you thought this and that, but when you got down there, wow, that was just wonderful. A lot of life there. More life. And more good life. So, that's the way it works. It repairs. And see, that's the thing about you and most people. You don't realize because, maybe you're a warrior killer guy in the jungles or something, or whoever you might be, or you're kind of a little, this kind of person, but, you got things that work. So you think, I'm good. But the thing is, a lot of things that you're doing are not really that good. They're kind of harmful to other people, and they don't really work that well. So if you're willing to learn, and you're willing to kind of learn how to be more intelligent about it, remember, let's distinguish between this and this. What's the difference? Look at it. Well, yeah, there is a difference. And you start making distinctions between, you become more intelligent. So, you can, so what I'm saying is that all the things in your system that you think are so cool, a lot of them aren't that cool. They're okay, they still work. That engine, that car still runs. But it's kind of embarrassing how does man run? It's kind of embarrassing how it does things that aren't nice. And then after a while, you get older and something. You do a lot of things that are really not nice. But it's not only embarrassing, it becomes horrible and tragic. And of course, everybody thinks they're fine. You know, pretty much. Sometimes they turn on themselves and people often do, and oh my God, what have I done? So there's a lot of that kind of improvement. So if you try to do it yourself, if you go and you say, well, Johnny was doing all these things, but I could do these things myself. I don't know, Johnny has other things to do. You just won't accept whatever the reality is. So you try to do it yourself, but you can't do it. You don't have the knowledge, you don't have the energy, and you don't have the interest, and you don't, your priorities are in the wrong place. The first thing you think, well, I don't know, it was nice over here, but let's just put it back over there where it was before. And you just go right back to whatever things were before. Kind of a worst case scenario. So God can make you right starting today. Just gradually. It just kind of happens to you. I say, you don't have to do it. You can stay in the house and read your paper and everything, but you want to be nice to Johnny. And you want to be consequent. And then when he asks you to go out, you don't want to go like, oh no, Johnny, that's okay. Thank you. You want to say, well, Johnny's done all this stuff for us. Now he wants to go somewhere. I say, yeah, we should do it. You want to be a good neighbor to the Almighty. And so God can bring you to a whole different life. And what is that life going to end up being like for mankind? If you just do this, if you just all do this. Or, if even a third of you that might be enough. Maybe a third. Wouldn't it be 2 billion, 2 to 3 billion, 2 or 3 billion people? It would lead you back to the very condition that we read about in the scriptures, and we read about in different stories that we've heard about, where man was kind of and gotten everything all clean. He was in a perfect condition, and so he was noble, and he did know. He was able to kind of know, not mentally know. Oh, but if he was going to go and do something, he would know not to do that if it wasn't going to be good. He would be stopped. His hand wouldn't do it. For instance, now if you were giving this talk and you were going to say, well, it's about just for demonstration, I'll raise my hand. So you raise your hand. You say blah blah, and what means that? So, see, with me, if I go to raise my hand, no, I can't raise my hand. I'm not really doing that. Because I'm getting guidance from the And, you can see I'm just an ordinary person. I'm not some special person. I'm not like a spiritual person. I'm just an ordinary person. This whole idea of being spiritual is highly overrated. See, if I was going to be a spiritual person, I would say that. And so, as we look at life itself, we try to understand who we are. It's very difficult, but I can help. It's pretty weird, isn't it? Who wants to talk to a person like that, It's like, well, why don't you help yourself? Or like, thanks very much, but nothing. You don't have to. There's no requirement to be spiritual, blowing your robes, do stuff, and be very sentimental. Certainly that kind of crap. We don't like that, do we? We like to be free. I want to go play ball now. Can I play ball? Is it alright if the Pope plays ball? Well, why not? You know? Oh no, the Pope has to be spiritual. What is that? What does it even mean? You know? No, you don't have to ever. You don't have to ever be spiritual. You know, maybe some of you want to be spiritual, and God will let you be spiritual for a while, but hopefully you'll get over it because it's, you know, it's just being, trying to be a certain way. It doesn't mean anything. Just trying to be a certain way. And that kind of interferes with you being in your own nature, because your own nature is kind of, you know, flowing, positive, and you don't have time to think about it. If I try to think, how can I be in my own nature? So, in my opinion, the way I feel about this, you see, I think it's very important for all. It's a different. It's not enough life in it. It's like all of a sudden this thing is talking. What is it? It's the thing is trying to be in its own nature. It's no fun. That's why kids are so much fun, because, you know, they're just spontaneous, as we say, and so is God. God is also constant, and you know, God is. So anyway, so that's what I'm trying to convey. You know, I'm trying to help you to understand, help you to see the truth. You know, yeah, there's a lot of ways on the earth to get close to God, and you can say, and there are many ways that, you know, kind of go on. You're not really talking about that people do kind of come closer to God. But in the conscious areas, always involves these days, what tends to always involve, even though the messenger is told you to surrender to God. You know what that means. That is to say, when you surrender, what usually happens is you try to surrender with the heart, or to do something. A lot of times they miss the point. It always involves you acting in some way. And, you know, you can split hairs and you say when you choose not to act, that is a form of action. Bob. You know that, don't you? We're not going to go there. We're not going to be all mental. No, you know, it's like when you just give it up, you're kind of giving up your choice. You're saying, what do you want to tell me? Okay, I think I've gone on enough. Hopefully this will record well. I'm telling you, and you know the great thing about this is you get to experience it for yourself. You don't have to believe me. You can just try it out. You know, let's go horseback riding. You're gonna love it. That's what. Have Johnny over, let him play. You're gonna be happy. Let God come to you in this way. Don't be too distant. Just let it happen. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to make any big statements. You don't have to focus on it. You don't have to pay. You have to pay attention when God is moving you. So that, and the reason for that is like when God is moving you inwardly, if you're not paying attention, then pretty soon, you know, your heart, your mind will get in the picture. So you'll be going like, you know, he'll be moving you, and you'll be like that. See, and in your heart, if you're not paying attention, you say, oh, like that, and not like that. So it's movement. But if you're not paying attention, then your heart wants to, you know, play too and get involved, or your mind, or whatever. Let's just say most of your heart, so your passions or something, whatever's busy in there. You want to kind of, you know, talk too. I have a question. Can I play now? So when you pay attention when God is moving, you're kind of, it's like you're saying, well, no heart and mind. So this is for you. It's not for your heart. And religions, your heart, you know. I believe, you know, in your passion, we're going to find God, or your mind, as we look at the scriptures today, we realize many things about the scriptures. The scriptures are very important and have many, many good lessons in them. Christ said, No, this isn't for any of those religions. This is for you. So, if you don't pay attention when you're being moved, then when you're going to make that movement out of the finger, so then your heart will come into and you start singing something. You'll be looking all what your heart thinks is kind of, your heart does. A lot of people these days think that's kind of spiritual. That's no good, because now your heart is taken over. And you don't get to play. You don't get to have that movement. And that movement actually was an important movement. It's kind of clearing up something, straightening out a nerve, or fixing something in your feelings, or getting rid of some kind of thing that's in the wrong place. So it would be as like if you went out to the garden, the kid was doing something in the garden, so we're going to help you kind of put your hands over him. You would constrict him and constrain him, and pretty soon he'd just squirm off and run off someplace else. So that's the deal. And if you just let it keep going on, then you'd be amazed what it will do for you. And as I say, there's no, you don't, other than just letting go when it's happening for half an hour, twice a week, that's all you got. You have to pay attention. Okay. So I'm trying to get you to, understand. Really simple. Does that make sense what he's saying? See if you think it makes sense. Because, life goes on. Okay. So breathe it down. All right.